Today's topic is specifically for small business owners, specifically self-employed small business owners. And you'll see I created a video about how can you reduce your taxes after the tax year is ended but before you file. So for example, the tax year ends on December 31, but most Americans aren't required to file their taxes until around April 15th of the following year. And that April 15th date, as you know, varies depending on whether it falls on a weekend. It can be slightly later. But what many people didn't know, and what I didn't know until I started studying taxes in detail, is that there is a way to reduce your taxable income after the tax year ends. I had a video I created about how you can reduce your taxes before the end of the tax year, but what about that 4 months from January until you file in April? And the best way to do that is by contributing to an IRA, which can drive down your income, reduce your taxable income for that year. Now for wage earners, watch my previous video because you're subject to the limit of $6,000 for age 50 and under for 2019, or $7,000 for age 50 and older. But for small business owners, especially if you're a self-employed small business owner like myself, there are a couple other plans you could look at, one of which is a SEP IRA, and that allows you to contribute up to 25% of up to $280,000 in compensation, or 25% of net self-employment earnings. And that's defined as self-employment income minus your SEP IRA contributions and 1/2 of the self-employment tax. So a SEP IRA can be a great way to contribute more than what you could contribute as a wage earner, because remember it's generally that $6,000 for age 50 and under, but the maximum you can put in a SEP IRA is up to $56,000 per taxable year. And you think about the ability of that to really change the tax figures for you in any given year. So if you had a really good year and you want to drive down your income, you could contribute a lot more money to your SEP IRA. Another plan to look at would be a simple IRA, and you can use that. The SEP is only if you're self-employed, but the simple you can use if you're self-employed or run your own business. And the simple plan has some different contribution levels, but if you have employees, you might want to talk to your tax and financial advisor about that versus the SEP, which is just for a strictly solo self-employed person. And the annual contribution limit for a simple IRA is $13,000 or $16,000 if you're over age 50. And employers can contribute 2% of compensation or can match contributions up to a maximum of 3% of compensation. There's also 401k plans you can put in place for either a self-employed solo individual or a business. So I suggest if your small business is doing better and you need to look at ways to reduce your taxable tax burden, but also save for retirement in your later years, you should look at some of these plans. And be aware, even if you don't do one of these special plans for a business owner, you can contribute to that traditional IRA at any time before you file your taxes between January 1 and April 15th for the previous tax year. And if you don't know how to do this, speak with your financial advisor and your CPA, and they can help show you how that changes the numbers on your tax return. So that's today's tax tip. Thank you for watching.